Thank you, Mr. Acting Chairman. First of all, let me begin. Ms. Wilkerson and Dr. Solmeyer, I want to once again thank you both and your families for being here with us today and your willingness to continue to serve our country. Ms. Wilkerson, I appreciated the opportunity to visit with you yesterday as well, and I wanted to follow up a little bit, as I indicated I would, with regard to just a couple of areas that I really think are sensitive and timely at this point with regard to actions going on right now within the department. Often the U.S. government makes changes to regulations without consulting key constituencies, including industry, academia, and even those of us here on Capitol Hill. I know that INS doesn't make regulations, but they do make policies that can have a broad impact on the defense and intelligence community and the defense industrial base. Would you commit to engaging with the appropriate stakeholders to the maximum extent possible before making significant policy changes that could impact these stakeholders?
Senator, thank you for taking the time to meet with me yesterday. I very much appreciated that. I certainly would commit to ensuring engagement with this committee to ensure that you have the adequate insight and the insight that you would seek to have regarding decisions that are made within the department.
Well, and thank you. And the reason why I bring it that way is the one area which is really front and center right now, specifically, I'm hoping that it would be a priority for you to follow the current law governing the space-based moving target indication, or MTI, that we talked about yesterday, and leave its governance within the Title 10 to optimize direct support for our frontline warfighters. There's a discussion right now going on in terms of how that's going to be implemented, and it really does impact the agencies that you're going to be responsible for. And I just want to make a commitment that we're going to hear about any changes to that, and that the other stakeholders would also be involved before any changes or policy changes would be made.
Senator, if confirmed, I certainly will ensure that I provide insight to decisions that are made within the department relative to all topics, but MTI in particular, recognizing that that is a highly a topic of a high interest at this time.
Okay. And then let me just, I understand that the Department of Defense and the IC have completed a joint, as they call it, a 45-day study on how to accomplish GMTI. It's been done for over a year now, but it has not yet been provided to Congress. Will you commit to making sure that this important report is provided to the appropriate congressional committees?
Senator, yes, if confirmed, certainly I will do all within my power to ensure that the committee has insight into the report, and I will certainly note for the SecDef and DNI on the interest.
Excellent. And then this question really is for both of you. I remain concerned about the potential commercial auction of government-managed wireless spectrum. Dozens of the most senior DoD officials have shared their concerns with me regarding with regard to weapon systems that would be affected should some of these areas be sold. However, I'm also concerned about the ramifications for our defense intelligence capabilities as well. I realize that you're limited in what you can discuss in this setting, but to the extent that you can, would you please share where you stand on this issue and your thoughts about the administration position generally with regard to the sale of DoD assets in the areas of spectrum that are critical to both DoD operations, a lot of our radars that protect our shorelines, and to the IC community with regard to very valuable space to ground communications and so forth. I just want to make sure that I've got commitments from both of you, that there is a clear understanding of how serious this is, and that I want to know how you're going to handle the response when the time comes. And there's a possibility of this being sold, and you're going to find uniformed officers coming and saying somebody has to stand up and talk about the ramifications to the Department of Defense and the IC community should these auctions move forward. Dr. Solmeyer?
Yes, Senator. I approached that spectrum issue very carefully from a threat perspective and very mindful of the capabilities we have that rely on it. That's why it's so critical for the department to have a seat at the table and really study the feasibility of what is being proposed at all times. So if confirmed, I commit to working very closely on that issue.
Thank you. Ms. Wilkerson?
Senator, while I'm not very steeped in this particular topic, I do certainly understand the sensitivity and the implications given my prior experiences. And so if confirmed, Senator, certainly this is an area that I would focus on.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.